That is no work for a princess. Yes, you are Iole, daughter of Peleus, king of Jolko. The royal standard on the chariot told me your name. Here, let me do it. I can work much faster.
There's lots of time to return to a city that I hate so.
That's no way to welcome a stranger.
Only you've no right to be here.
Your father knows about it.
He didn't ask you. It was a question of teaching the art of war to Ephetus, my brother, and you offered to.
Isn't that the same thing?
No. You know the story of my family. Somebody spoke to you about us.
You remember it well, then? Was it really so bad?
I remember it now. I remember all that went on. Is it wrong to be as happy as I was then? But the gods won't answer that question. They turn from me when I ask. I was only a child that day 10 years ago. It had been such a happy afternoon for me. We were returning from the hunt with my uncle Aeson, who was king of Jolko at that time. He insisted that his son Jason ride in his chariot, together with my brother Ephetus, my father, and I. At our side rode the captain of the escort, Chiron, who had had angry words with the king on the previous day, though we did not know what it was about. In the woods, we suddenly saw a platoon of soldiers coming toward us. They were leading a man in chains. My uncle stopped the chariot. I tried to see the face of the prisoner, but he knelt with his head bent very low. The king whispered something in my father's ear, and my father got down from the chariot and went to talk with the officer of the platoon.
What is he charged with?
He killed a woman and robbed her of what little money she had, Your Excellency.
You would like to kill, eh?
To kill. That was the only word I was able to understand of the brief conversation that followed. But I knew somehow that the man must be condemned to death. My father came back to the chariot and whispered something to my uncle. The king shook his head and we started off again. My uncle Aeson was a good king, always fair and determined to mete out justice. The thought of that prisoner's death swept over me like a bad omen. A strong wind was beginning to ruffle the trees around us. By the time we reached Jolko, the sky was overcast and the gale increasing in fury. The people who were always there to welcome their king had retreated to their houses, and the great square was deserted. With the coming of night, the foreboding terror became even stronger in me. But my cousin Jason invited my brother Ephetus and me to see the Golden Fleece. That prospect made me forget my fears. We waited until the king and his guards had left. Then Jason, Ephetus, and I stole into the throne room to touch the Golden Fleece. To touch that gift of the gods which the populace considered to be the only true symbol of royalty. For us, it was more important than the scepter or the crown. Without it, no man is truly king. It had a mysterious presence all its own, almost alive. It seemed to vibrate, and to touch it made us tremble. I never saw Jason again after that night. Later on, my sleep was filled with nightmares. The memory of what had happened in the woods would not leave me. Again and again, I pictured what would certainly be the end of that terrible story. The condemned man brought to the place of execution. The executioner advancing to him, grasping his axe, lifting the axe, and me powerless to help. But with my scream, I heard other screams echoing from the farthest end of the palace. My terror was even greater when I noticed that my nurse's bed was empty. Out of my mind with fear, I ran to the throne room. I could scarcely see the body of the king as they carried him out amidst the clamor and confusion. My father stood there petrified, staring at his brother's blood. Then he turned and a look of fear crossed his face, for the stand behind the throne was empty. The golden fleece was gone. But his suffering could do nothing. Jason escaped with the golden fleece, and Kiran too, but you know the rest.
So that's why Kiran was accused of killing the king, kidnapping Jason, and stealing the golden fleece.
Yes,
And for what reason?
for revenge.
And do you believe that?
It's important. Do you think that people lie?
But I've heard it wasn't Kiran who killed the king. It was the king's brother who murdered him.
That's not true!
Why do you relive the story if it's not true?
Listen, they all speak about the past here. The murder happened to put my father on his brother's throne. But I know he wouldn't do that. It's tragic. Now that the golden fleece is gone, he must officiate. But when he tries to aid them, why, they don't care. My poor father's above your suspicions.
For all our sakes, I hope so.
I see you're joking. I remember somebody saying you were a friend of Kiran. Have you come for revenge? And more suffering?
Wait, would you allow me to accompany you? Please. I'm not much of a carpenter. It won't work. It's better to let me take you back to Jolko. Come with me, please. I would like to see your eyes with happiness there in place of hate, because I can understand just the way you feel. But I will help you now. Believe me, I'll protect you.
As the worm eats the fruit that matures, as men stalk their prey, he will come here for you. When you see the man, he will wear one sandal. Wait no longer. That man would slay you. Will you escape destruction? He wears but a single sandal. When he comes, take care.
But why does he hate me like that?
He does not know you are the man he hates.
Oh, Father. How can you take stock in these oracles, and this one isn't even pretty?
Destiny knows all about all men, and when your time comes, you too will know.
Witch, get away, do you hear?
They will speak no more. When someone angers the gods, they finish.
Why, no. Better to respect the gods and their oracles. They are the gods' messengers. I shall give an order that any man coming to Jolko wearing one sandal will be put to death immediately. You! Who is that?
Hercules, the master of arms that you sent for.
Hercules the Theban. Come forward. Welcome to Jolko.
They say you're almost a god. Well then, why aren't you invisible?
Stop it, Aphetus. This man saved my life today.
Marvelous. That's the way to make a fine impression.
You'd better listen to what I have to say to Hercules, because it concerns you too. You're here to reinforce Jolko. Hercules will guide you until you're able to reign. But he must show you. Because I want to give the throne up.
Father?
Because each year I grow more anxious. I can't go on being king forever. I can't go on. Useless.
Father, you've been drinking too much tonight.
I guess you're right, but it won't stop it, can't you see? Hercules, I must beg you to help us at Jolko.